Alrighty. I'm going to turn off the noise suppression because I don't like it. That seems weird. Interesting. It's fairly bright, but for some reason the ISO on the camera is really different than what I expected. Anyway, let's pop it up, my friends, and go ahead and get started. What we're going to do is we're going to send out an email, maybe. Shouldn't be hard. The funny thing is that Jeff Atwood's post on running your own email server and how difficult it is actually very inspiring in terms of why you should run your own email server. Now, we're not doing that yet for reasons. Mostly because of the software. There's not good software for it yet. I'm going to test sound real quick. Oh, soundboard's not going. Oh. Good thing I did a sound test. There we go. Now we got some background music. Alright, excellent. Okay, things are back in order. So the main thing is that setting up a mail server is not difficult. It's not challenging. It's tedious. It's very, very tedious. It's all the stuff that should be automated away, but hasn't been automated away yet. So that's one of the things that we need to figure out. So we're going to need a domain service for that, and we're going to need, basically, setting up a mail server without having automation is almost impossible. But all of the things that you need to do to set up a mail server are pretty easy to automate. They just hasn't been done. Anyway. Where are we at here? This. We're at this. And let me go ahead and get rid of a couple of these windows over here, and then pull one of them over here. Where'd it go? This one. One of these. Here we go. So let's move this over here, and let's pull this one and move it over here. There we go. Now I can click through. And I'm actually, truth be told, I'm having a hard time remembering where these things are. I think that they are still on DigitalOcean, and that's something that I want to do. Maybe today would be a good time for that. I want to get my crap moved off of DigitalOcean. Webby being one of the first ones, but also we don't need the BNNA stuff on DigitalOcean anymore because now we have the servers set up and we can actually run services on them. Bless me. That was for your benefit. What the heck is a spaces? Actually, so DigitalOcean may just have started offering... No, it's not what we're offering. Never mind. Oh, okay. So it's basically their S3. I don't know why people just don't call it S3. It's like... It's one of those weird brand war things, you know? DigitalOcean S3, Amazon S3, Minio S3. It's S3. The protocol is S3. But I guess it's kind of an interesting bit too. The protocol for email is SMTP, but we call it email. And email is what's stuck. And so maybe it's the same kind of thing. Except that brands these days, they want to trademark everything, even when it's pretty banal. Right? DigitalOcean Spaces. Sounds stupid. Just call it DigitalOcean S3 because it's already a super technical term anyway. Email was aimed at the average consumer, right? Whereas S3 is a developer tool. It's okay to say, hey, DigitalOcean offers S3. What's wrong with that? Why not just call it the name of the protocol? Because it's... I'm pretty sure in here they say... I don't know. It's like... I don't know. Maybe because Amazon has used the term S3 so often that other people feel like they can't use it because Amazon owns it. But Amazon doesn't own S3. I could be wrong. But, I mean, that's the name of the protocol is S3. Let's see real quick. S3 and trademark. I just did a search here. Oh. Of course, it doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, but we should be able to find out. Does Amazon have a trademark on S3? I'm pretty sure that's the name of the protocol. I think they have a trademark on AWS. Let's see, S3. So, Amazon Simple Storage Service. That they have a trademark on. But I don't think they have a trademark on S3. Amazon S3. So, I think you can't call it... You can't call it Amazon S3. And maybe you can't call it Simple Storage Service. But you could call it DigitalOcean S3. Now these other ones, it looks like, I'm a little confused, but it looks like SES, SNS, and SQS, they may have not been as generic as they would seem. They may have actually been able to get the trademark on these terms. But this one, clearly, they do not have the trademark on S3. It may also be too small to have a trademark on. Where's Infinidash? Infinidash. Yeah. Well, anyway, I actually don't have time to look into that. I do want to look into that because my thought for us is we're just going to call it the name of the protocol. It's going to be S3 block storage. Or S3 object storage, sorry. Okay. So what was I going to do here anyway? I was going to... Oh, on the other screen, I was trying to find where the BNNA server is, which I actually don't remember. It's somewhere. I bet that it's on the... Then I shouldn't have done this. My apologies. But I bet it is on the production webinstall.dev. So let me try that. What? Why would this be on next? That doesn't make sense. Oh. Right, okay. That makes sense. Bliss. Yeah, there's too many things on here. We probably don't need to do these restarts anymore. I'm going to not do them. Because I think that the reason that I was doing them... We'll see what happens. But the reason that I was doing those was for a problem that I finally solved months ago. meaning found a permanent solution. Let's just see here. What do we have in serve? So Pocket ID. Yeah, this is just kind of my production server, but now that we have BNNA, I don't have to do this anymore because I didn't want to pay $5 for basically, for every domain. And now I don't have to. Now I can figure out what the total amount of RAM that I want to use is and storage, and then I can just allocate it. Interestingly enough, I want our pricing to be, in some ways, basically, the thing is always similar to its opposite. Or its inverse. There's a thing and its opposite are similar by definitionally. So they couldn't be more far apart. Well, so for example, apples and oranges are definitely not opposites. They're very adjacent. They're fruits. They are very different. They're very easy to compare because you consume them in a similar way. You create juices out of them. So comparing apples and oranges is actually, to me, that seems like quite an ideal comparison. You can have tart oranges. You can have tart apples. You can have sweet oranges. You can have sweet apples. All oranges are going to have some sort of oranginess to them. All apples are going to have some sort of appliness to them. But comparing apples and oranges is a really great comparison because you've got things that are similar, but distinctly different. Whereas, if we wanted to go comparing things that are not similar, then we could say, well, you're comparing apples and tyrannosaurs. Because those... or apples and bricks. And because those don't really bear much relation to one another. I like tyrannosaurs because I like tyrannosaurs, but those things don't bear much relation to each other. But most things, they're equal but opposite. Up and down are very similar. They both go in a direction that can be measured along the same axis. Anyway, let me see if I can figure out where in the world ping api.bnna.net. I don't know where this is. Okay, that's weird. I have to figure out where the heck is that? 97.16. Oh, okay. So this is actually on the beta server. So not the right place for it to be, but whatever. I'm going to have to list here because I don't want to give away the names of the emails of our people. AOL.com. That feels like a troll. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to bring this back over. And we're just going to take a look at this here in this form. So I've got something. I just need to go look at the. Really, what do I need to do here? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to create. Alright, so let's do... I just need something to go over the directory, read in the emails, put a to field, basically give a... Let's see... Send to list.js. That's what we're going to do here. And we're just going to do let fs equals require node fs promises. We're going to have async function main. We're going to have a main.catch function error console.error. I like to do error.stack or error. Ideally it should be stack, and then process.exit1. Could do some code stuff there, but I won't let me checking error codes, but won't do that right now. So await fs.read dir, and then we're going to have a let emails dir equals process.arg argv2. And so then we're going to do a read of emails dir, which is going to be relative to where this is running from. Let nodes equals. And then for let node of nodes, because they're file system nodes, they're not necessarily files, and there could be things that start with a dot. We don't want those. So basically, if starts with a dot or has, well, or if it ends with a tilde. This is what we should do. Is temp. There we go. Node.name. And I think this is nodes, not names, but I could be wrong. We'll do console.log node. That might just be names. I don't remember. Alright, we're going to do email body equals, this is going to be 3. Only from main are you allowed to do process.exit. That's a rule. Don't break it. Never call exit from anywhere but main. Even if you're debugging, it's dangerous to do this because, you know, if you're debugging and you accidentally leave a login that shouldn't be there, oops could have security implications, but it's not going to crash your program. You're debugging and you put a process.exit somewhere and that gets pushed to prod. Yeah. Yeah, that makes somebody less happy. All right. Usage. Oops. And I often just create a help function. In fact, I got some boilerplate that I need to... maybe I need to put it up on Webby or something. I need a better way to install it. But I'll do usage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in this case. And we'll do send to list dir and email body file. And then I'll throw this in there as well. Test emails, test message.txt. And then we probably should have a subject in here as well. But maybe that should just be the first line. I think that the way they'll do it is the first line of the email needs to be the subject, and then the rest can be the body. So we'll do this, and then that really should be, again, oops, function help. We could say show help, and just throw that in there. I like to have the usage up top because then when you open the file you can see it. It's clear. Alright, missing semicolon. Get out of my way! Alright, so thankfully the type hinting's working here. So we can just do name of names, and these are entry names. And I recommend, as you've heard me say recently, if you've been watching over the last few months, that you always just assign more variables. Don't use comments, assign more variables. Give things descriptive variable names. And then you don't need comments. And then if you have to change the code because you have to change the functionality, this is one of the problems with comments, is comments become out of sync with the code. You leave the comments in there forever because you go and change the thing that you have to change and you're not necessarily looking at the surrounding area. Comments are something that you write when you're writing the code, but you don't read when you're reading the code. Hopefully that does make sense. All right, so see here, name equals name dot to lowercase dot trim. That should actually happen right there. And I no longer believe in using map and filter and all that for reasons that I've explained before, but I've stopped using them. Yes, sometimes they're convenient, but ultimately they're bad. It's too complicated for the average person to understand. Everybody can read imperative code. Very few people can read declarative code. Declarative code is high context. Declarative code is great if you want an overview, but you can basically create declarative code by just breaking things down into reasonable sized functions and then having a main function that does a reasonable amount of stuff. So I could take this, if I want this to be declarative, in scare quotes, all I have to do is say do names to addresses, and then do let emails equals names to addresses, and then I can pass in names and I get back addresses, and then I could take in here names And then boom, there we go. Now main is declarative. But the actual code remains imperative, as it ought. And this is array string names. There we go. A quick reminder. If you like what you like, remember to like what you like, because you get more of what you like if you like what you like. If you want to. Also, Discord link. Oh wait, that didn't pop up. Hold on. I forgot to change the chat bot. Alright, I'm going to pop this up again. It already showed up in Twitch and YouTube, but it didn't show up in the chat bot there. Okay. So now it's showing up on the chat bot as well. I need to take a break and do more of this just kind of mindless coding that I enjoy, because I am dying on some of the work that I have to do just because I have to deal with other people's code, and I hate dealing with it. Telling me that this isn't any type anymore. I just declared the what's going on here? Names. Pussy has it at param. What did I do wrong? Oh, I didn't put the brackets around it. What have I been doing lately? Okay, so here we are. So here's our main function, and you know we could also, if we want to make this more declarative, we could have a function, you know, parse args, and then we could return this in an object instead. But I'm not going to do that one. But if you want code to be declarative, I think I might have just said imperative. If you want code to be declarative, don't use declarative code libraries or declarative code styles. Just write imperative code with functions so that you can read it like the headline of a newspaper. Then you've got it. Anyway, let me go ahead and just run this. Actually, chmod send to list mkdir bin mv send to list bin send to list. And I did have actually, let's do this with bun. Let's get bun on here. I need to stop using node out of habit and do bun instead. Alright, so I had a little ditty that would make it so based on the line up top, it would do the right thing with the file. Whoops. And maybe it's just because I didn't have bun in that, or maybe... Okay, here we go. So this look, yes. All right, so if we put node there, it works. If we put bun there, it doesn't. I don't know why. But let's do bun bin, and actually I like to put /bin send to list, and then we're going to have a test emails. Good. It gives me an error. That's excellent. And then blah. All right, and it prints out undefined. Why? Because I didn't do a return. So a lot of times I don't do the returns because it's obvious and it can be implied, but then sometimes I forget to do the return at the end, so it's actually better to mark it. And then I think my code tool stuff is not working because I'm not accessing this with a JavaScript extension, so I'm just going to add the JavaScript extension back just for the purpose of the tooling. Well, I'm just making a symlink to it. So now the JavaScript tooling will definitely run, and then I can just change this to bun anyway, so all is well. Alright, so we're halfway there. I gotta leave in 5 minutes. I should probably leave now. Alright. Name to addresses. There we are. Ah, yes. So many niceties of bun. Alright, so... I'm going to have to finish this when I get back in several hours, or perhaps tonight. I hope just in several... I don't know. We'll see. But I've got to go, unfortunately. Or fortunately. I get to go. Anyway. I just needed to do some soothing coding for a little bit. Just because I've been doing just work for the past 2 weeks and haven't hardly done anything that I wanted to do. I've done things I've had to do that are not necessarily work, but things like having network problems at the house or whatever, but yeah. Let me plug that in. There we go. So what else do I need to do? Yeah, so this is actually for BNNA, and so this is so that I can send out an email to everybody. This is literally, that's what this is for. So I can send out an email with the updates. I'm going to read from the email directory. I'm going to read the message. And that will be that. So there's going to be the text is going to be email body, and then we're going to do text dot split. Is kind of maybe not the best way to do it, but whatever. And then we're going to read this as UTF-8, and this we should do the same thing. Wait, we don't read dir. This is read file, sorry. Read file. That's going to be UTF-8. And so then we're going to do let lines equals, and I could put this in its own thing as well. So we're going to split the lines. Let subject equal lines 0. Lines dot, well, I guess we could do, hold on. We could just do lines dot shift on that. And then let body equal lines dot join. Dot trim. Text dot trim dot split. If not, let missing content equals not subject or not body. Okay, I do need to go. If missing content, then throw new error. Let's see. What do I call it? Message text file should have subject as the first line, followed by at least one line of body. It's weird because only I'm going to use this, and I'm only going to use it a couple times, but trim? What do you mean expected multiple arguments? Oh, duh. There we go. That's the way it should be. Alright, I'm going to just print this out, and then regardless of the outcome, I'm going to go. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry, I don't have time to find somebody to raid, except maybe I will anyway. Let's see if anybody is on that I know. Oh, for some reason it booted me out. I'm not logged in. Alright. So I'm going to need blah.txt to be subject body. And we should be able to do it this way. Oops. There we go. Looks good. Ah, crap. Authenticator app. Thankfully, it's already open to Twitch for some reason. So, that's good. Remember this computer for 30 days. I guess it's been 30 days. Alright, let's see if we got anybody we can raid. I'm going to throw us at somebody real quick. We've got Purple Elf. We've got... who else? Yeah, we're going to go for... Oh, Anthony writes code. Purple Elf working on Gum Road. Something, something. Yeah, we'll raid Purple Elf. Purple. There we go. Alright. Everybody get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Adios.